Well, hi, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I'm the RV Wingman. Thank you for joining me today. Today is Tuesday, March the 18th, and I have not done one of these just speaking off the cuff kind of videos for a while, so I want to do that. I hope you've been enjoying some of the interviews that I've done recently, though. If you have an interesting guest or a story to tell or a topic, or you just want to yak and you think it might make for a good YouTube video, contact me. My information is in the description down below. It's also on the screen right now. rvwingman@gmail.com, and then the phone number 1-330-946-4626. Listen to every call. I get back to people as quickly as I possibly can. So let me talk to you about two different things. One is I think that I may have been, and I may be being too hard on manufacturers and not hard enough on somebody else. And I want to bring that to your attention. I want to fall on the sword, accept that. The more I look around in search of America's most trusted RV dealers, the more I find out that there are few dealers that you can really trust. I wish it wasn't that way. I wish every dealer was trustworthy, that every dealer cared, but they don't. I think that there are manufacturers that the people on the line don't care. Their employees, they'll be working someplace else next year or this summer, and they just don't care about the quality of job they do. But most people, especially the ones that have worked at the plants that they've worked there for a long time, they do care about the quality of product they produce. Let me tell you who cares the least about those products. It's the underpaid newbie kid that works at many of these dealerships that his job is just to go, yep, the tires look black to me. Looks pretty good. There's your PDI. And I know I'm going overboard the other way. But when a dealer accepts an RV from the manufacturer, when they accept that RV, don't you think that RV ought to be done in pretty good condition? I mean, it's supposed to be brand new. The seals are supposed to be on. A lot of RVs are sold with the seals. They haven't even put the sealant on. I mean, those are obvious things. That's an obvious thing that many manufacturers just, well, it's good enough. The dealer will catch it. But then the dealer, when it's good enough. And I think that our country and certainly the RV industry has gotten into the not making a quality product. That's not the focus anymore. Not making people happy anymore. Now, let's get their money by giving them something that is just good enough. I'm going to give you a couple of examples of good enough. One of my favorite places to go buy a hamburger is called Whataburger. And Whataburger is not as good as it used to be before they went corporate and sold. Whataburger used to make, and they still make a good burger, but it's not the same. It's just not. When you expand and you grow and you're so big and you are this Goliath, it's hard to maintain that feel-good hometown quality. And I think it is that way with RV dealers. Now, you can go the other way. You can care too much and put yourself out of business. Did you know, I read something the other day that you may relate to, and it was that Tom Brady was the most difficult player to coach for Bill Belichick ever. And that's hard to believe, at least on its surface, isn't that? He's the greatest quarterback that ever lived, arguably, but I think he is. He was the hardest one to coach. So I read the story, and do you know why he was so hard to coach? Because he cared. He studied every game film more than anybody else, and Belichick said he was smarter than he was at times. And he forced his quality, his level of care and commitment to the game of football and to being the best quarterback he could possibly be, helped make Belichick kind of challenged him to be the best coach he could be. And together they were a fantastic team. I think back to when I owned my campground in Texas, had a campground, and I was very actively involved. And some people said, Alan, you take everything too personally. And I don't think I do. I don't think I did. If I didn't take things personally, I would not have grown my business the way that I did. I cared. I really cared. But there's a point when you can care too much. I'm going to give you an example of that. So I've got this lady that was a full-time RVer, and she wanted to work part-time in the office. Super sweet lady. But the problem was when somebody would check out, she would be, oh, she's so gracious. But then she would say, is there anything that we can do to make the cabin better for you next time? Anything at all? And when I heard it, I'm like, oh my God, you've got to be kidding. Because she'd come up with a list. People don't like the bedspread. They like a larger TV. They'd like an extra air conditioner. Could you give them this kind of a coffee pot? I'm like, don't you see that it's a cabin, it's a campground. We're not trying to be the Ritz-Carlton. It's the way you ask those questions. It was everything satisfactory? Is there anything we may need to know about? Not, what do you wish was there? Well, I'd like a big jumbo screen TV over there and then speakers all over the place and a dance floor. I kind of like to dance a little bit in my cabin. Are you kidding me? It's not a hamburger joint where you order whatever you want. It's just a campground. Yeah. Is there anything that we could do to make your stay better next time? Would be a better way to phrase it. So good enough. Let me go back to the RV dealers. I see these manufacturers that do good enough. Yeah, it's good enough. Pass it on to the dealer. The dealer looks at it and goes, good enough. Salesman doesn't even go through the thing. The salesman, okay, we've just sold this unit right here. Let's go on out. Walk them through. Maybe they're not going to see that thing over there. Oh, you know what? That's normal. Just put your little list together and come back and see us after you camp in it 2 or 3 times. This is normal. And I say that I believe that we as RV buyers we are part of the problem. But if we're part of the problem, we can be part of the solution. The problem is we accept that BS from a salesperson or a dealer saying, everybody does it. They're all like that. They're not all like that. The dealers that I work with would be embarrassed to sell an RV that didn't have the proper seals put on it. They didn't have any caulking around the shower area. That leaked, obviously leaked, that they didn't do any kind of a PDI. They would be embarrassed about that. Why? Because they care. I think that caring is more important than just about anything. When I sold my campground, I had a well-oiled machine, I'm telling you, and I'm damn proud of it. It took me years to put it together, lots of failures to do it, but I had the best team of employees ever. I paid them really well too. I mean, they weren't rich, but I took care of them. I'd buy her a case of beer and I'd take them out for hamburgers. And we took some people on a cruise a couple of times because it was my commitment back to them because they're giving their life to me and my wife and to everybody that came by our campground. And we built that campground with not a skeleton crew, but a lean, mean, caring crew. When I sold the campground, I've told this story many times. I met with a person that bought it and a very nice man. And he looked at all the books and all that and everything was great. And he says, why do you pay your people so much? And I said, well, to use the metaphor, they would crawl over broken glass for me. I said, no. And I would crawl over broken glass for them. I have gone through lots of work campers and they're lazy, lying slobs. Too many of them are. That's right. And if you're one of them, and if I've upset you, then sorry, I'm not sorry, actually. They all sound good in the beginning, but only a few will rise to the occasion. A few of them want to be the Tom Brady, so to speak. A few of them care. And when you can find people that care, whether it's at a campground or an RV dealership, you hold on to them. That said, I'm going to wrap this thing up today. It's going to be a shorter video than normal. But I found somebody on the West Coast that I will be interviewing very soon that from my investigation, from my looking around, I found somebody that gives a crap. I mean, they seem passionate. They seem dedicated. They remind me of my team when I had Big Chief. I mean, they seem like a well-oiled machine. They're not a giant dealer, but I need a dealer on the West Coast. And if these people fit the bill, I'm going to be singing their praises because there are a lot of people out there that are, my dealers are right in the middle, right in the heartland, so to speak. Over to the east, Louisiana, down into Florida. I need people on the West Coast. So I will bring you that interview very, very soon. And my fingers and toes are crossed that these are people that care, that give a crap. Having realistic expectations is also so important. I think that too many RV buyers think that they have no idea of what they're buying, but they think they do. They don't realize the maintenance that is required. And you have to do it. You don't have to do it, and you're going to pay the price. Good dealers will tell you the truth. And sometimes the truth is expensive and you don't want to hear it, but it's just the truth. Again, I am in search of America's most trusted RV dealers, and you can help me. I got a lot of horror stories, a lot more to come. If you know of a great dealer, please contact me. This guy that I'm going to be interviewing, I was contacted by his father, wrote me a beautiful email. Naturally, the dad is proud. He's going to say great things about his son, but I've checked him out, and this guy looks really strong. But if you've got a horror story that you would like to share here on YouTube with other people that you think other people can benefit from hearing, I'd love you to reach out and let's communicate and see if we can, schedule one of these recorded calls. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you thought of today's video. Let me know if you think that most people just get by with, that's good enough. Good enough. Good enough. And I think that's the problem with our world, is everything has just gotten good enough. Any of this make any sense? I certainly hope so. Thank you for being with me around this virtual campfire. Drop a note down below. Let me know what you thought of the video, maybe where you're watching today's video from, and give it a thumbs up. I'm Alan Warren, the RV Wingman, hoping that you'll be the best wingman or wingwoman possible. You'll tell the truth and that you too will care about whatever job you do. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.